We're live.
All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. We are live. How's it going? My name is SoProWarrior, and here we have. Introduce yourself, guys.
Greetings.
Hello. Go ahead, Rax.
Go on.
All right. So, I am Raxmus. I am the co-host, and hopefully, we'll all be the entertainment for today.
Oh yeah. Yep. For everyone who doesn't know, I'm SoProWarrior. I'm the main host of this. We're gonna explain everything in a bit, but first thing first, introductions. Yeah, let's go with that. Already off to a great start, fellas.
Already. Great start. Great start.
Going great.
I am your host, SoProWarrior. Here we have our co-host, Raximus.
Yo.
And then here we have our guests. Introduce yourselves, guys. Our guests.
Hello, name's Wolf, the Wolf Guardian. I am also known as Wolfblade 111 on DeviantArt. And I am the and I am also the creator of the Guardianverse, crossover universe. Anyway, Serna.
Hello, my name is Serna. That is not my real name, but I am also on DeviantArt with that same name. I am the creator of Rebirth, and also I have a bunch of stuff on DeviantArt that I will not share.
So first things. After all that. So welcome everyone to the Podverse podcast, where basically all of us people here are people from DeviantArt, where we all have our own Crossoververses. What we call Crossoververses are basically each of our own universes and stuff like that, where everything crosses over, from like different fictional media, stuff like that, so Power Rangers, Mass Effect, Halo, Doom, stuff like that. Like, they all just exist in these different crossover verses that we all have stuff for in various ways. Yeah? That good?
I mean, that's one way to describe it.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
Although we should also note that there are also different kinds of just crossover universes as well.
Yes.
We'll basically be mainly talking about those that are made by fans, ones that like Wolf and Serna and some of us have made.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And go on.
And maybe touch up on some crossovers like like Mega Man and Sonic, or like DC and He-Man, and we'll somewhat talk about that a bit as like references.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the main thing we're doing with this Podverse podcast is we're just talking about each of our respective crossover verses, because we each have our own crossover verse and stuff, each with its own name, its own characters and stuff like that. And yeah, we're just gonna be here talking about that kind of stuff and other fictional things related to all that. So yeah. So for our first episode, we're actually going to be going over into Wolfblade's Guardianverse. That's the name of his crossover universe, and we're just going to be talking about it. So Wolf, why don't you talk about maybe to introduce your Guardianverse a little bit? Like you'll give a little introduction to it.
Well, a little introduction. All right. Let's see. Can I do that? Okay. Well, let's see. Introduction to the Guardianverse. Where do I start? At the beginning, of course. Well, basically, the Guardianverse is, as Serna or Pro said earlier, a crossover universe. Basically, I took multiple franchises I love and basically just mashed them together into one big ball, which turned into the Guardianverse. It was very messy at the beginning, to the point that I'm pretty sure it was a junkyard mixed with a playground, or vice versa. And, well, basically, great, I'm going off topic. The Guardianverse as a whole, oh, this is going great.
Take your time, man.
Take your time.
Yeah, right. Let's see. Well, the Guardian verse itself started as started with the same old idea many crossover writers go with. A great threat rears its ugly head. The opposite of that threat shows up to gather the forces of good to combat this said threat. In this case, the great threat and its opposite were, and now, and still are, my two big original characters. Because at the time I didn't realize I could use other ones. The light and the dark. The two being siblings stuck in an eternal battle for all of eternity, and then some. So, basically both are avatars of their respective sources of power. You know, the light and the dark. Good and evil, so on and so forth. Etc., etc. Anyway, basically the light went around from world to world gathering heroes. Went to Marvel, gathered the Avengers. Went to DC, the Justice League. And Dragon Ball, the Z Fighters, and so on and so forth. And so, let's see. Well, after some time, she eventually gathered a big enough force to combat her brother, the Dark. And, well, suffice to say the way the Guardianverse went originally was, the way I was originally doing it was messy. Like I said, basically a playground, but started getting, getting, you get it, messy.
Messy, yeah.
Oy.
Yeah.
And so,
sorry.
Huh?
So I know we did just lose Cerna, so I'm just checking on him to make sure that he's all good and fine and dandy. So you can
okay. Right. Anyway, sorry, I'm new to this whole thing.
Yeah, this is literally our first thing, so we didn't exactly prepare for this. We're just talking, Just imagine it's just talking,
Right. I did prepare a script just to remind me in case my brain went on the fritz, which it kind of is. Ugh. Anyway, so as I said, the Guardianverse started off just as a playground, and I had fun with it. But as time went on, I got more ambitious. As people began to like it more and more, I got to the point where I was like, hey, let's bring other people's original characters into this shindig. And that kind of had some ups and quite a few downs. The upside, I made a lot of friends. Downside is I wound up creating an incoherent mess filled with official characters and OCs from various different people, several of which I had a falling out with, and thus was stuck with their OCs because they wound up leaving DeviantArt due to reasons. And so, basically, I reached a crossroad with the old Guardianverse. It was just complete, just so much stuff going on, not enough coherency. So I decided to reboot it in a way. And with a little help from my DeviantArt brother, JackDev99, aka ViceDev99 here on Discord, who was reaching a similar issue with his own crossoververse, the Viceverse. We decided to do a collab of sorts where his OC, Vice, the god of corruption, don't let the name fool you, not as bad as you think when he's in a good mood. And basically, after a long ass story where all the joined heroes who form the massive team known as the Guardians of Freedom eventually defeated the Dark, there was a time of peace and prosperity across what remained of creation because the Dark had destroyed a lot of it in the process. But he was still around, just in secret, after his defeat, and, well, he more or less possessed Vice and used him to enact his revenge. Unknowingly, in doing this, he would unleash Vice's true personality, being known as Truth. To say the slaughterfest that followed was messy would be an understatement. Basically, he just kills everybody. Hero, villain, god, devil, everything in between, wipes it all out,
All right.
leaving the entirety of the Omniverse basically a blank canvas after his rampage. So it was just him. Until two beings appeared out of nowhere. My basic version of God, basically, the Above, and Vice's sort of version of God, the Forgotten One, appeared, and Truth, being a rampaging animal at this point, attacked them, but they put him down without so much as even lifting a finger. And then they looked at this blank canvas and recreated it. Made the Omniverse completely whole again, but new. So basically, the Above went and created the current version of the Guardianverse, which is more coherent. At least that's what I hope it is. And the Forgotten One went and created the new Viceverse. So, just a clean slate. Start over and make it better than it was before.
All right.
And so basically that was how the Guardianverse started. Went from a messy playground to a clean slate, and now it's more coherent.
That sounds very
Oh,
cool,
yeah.
actually. Did you take inspiration? Because that definitely sounds like DC's, Crisis on Infinite Earths, if I remember correctly. It definitely sounds.
Yeah.
It is similar to that in a way. To be honest, when we were doing this, I don't really think either me or Vice or Jack had any real knowledge of Infinite Crisis. We just kind of thought this was our own little take.
Oh, yeah.
And then afterwards, I went back and looked at Infinite Crisis, and I was like, "Son of a bitch, they beat us to it."
I mean,
God damn it!
Yeah.
We're not original.
you know what? Hey, credit to you. You thought you were original, and then only after some research, you were like, "Son of a bit." But yeah.
Like I had heard of Infinite Crisis and knew a little bit about it, but at the time I was still, very much a pleb in terms of DC lore. So
Yeah.
So I was just like,
Pretty sure we are all in your shoes before. Like I said,
yeah.
First fun fact is when I started my Crossoververse, which I'm not going to talk about. That's today's focus is on Wolf, but for my Crossoververse, it's actually hilarious that I thought my whole story thing was an original idea, but then I came across DeviantArt and then came across people like Wolf and then everyone else on this Crossoververse community, and I was like, huh, not as original as I thought. Good to know.
Nope.
It's like
You're late to the game, buddy.
you think that you think you're doing something original. You think you're doing something like, oh hey, I actually came up with this. My mind came up, and then you realize, oh.
I'm not as original as I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, we have one more.
We got one more person here. Hello, Croissant.
What? Who?
Hello.
We're saying hello.
I'd like to place an order for a large double.
Sorry, sir. This is a McDonald's.
Hello, sir. Welcome
know,
to Chili's.
I know that's why I didn't place an order for a Big Mac. See,
And this is where the chaos becomes more chaos.
You said a safe word yesterday. You established it, so don't act like, oh, I'm single-handedly derailing everything. You're you're watching the world burn and then blaming me. That's because I got the match in hand.
Jesus.
You guys have the fire extinguisher.
All right.
Fair
All right. Anywho, continue on, Wolf.
well, first thing first, actually, Chris, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience?
Oh yeah.
No?
Just no.
Okay, fair enough. Wolf, I guess. Back to you.
I don't know how to top that.
Oh, Christ.
I can't. I don't think I can ever top no.
Yes, you can. Anyways.
True.
Or,
Anywho, so yeah, well, as I was saying, like rebooted the Guardianverse, made it hopefully more coherent. Basically, just what I've done is I've taken the histories and the lore of these varying universes and crossed them over to mix them together into one big cooking pot, basically, and see what I can make of it. Some examples of this would be Broly, based on his Dragon Ball Super version, is raised by Goken from Street Fighter, and he's trained alongside Ryu and Ken Masters, who he sees as brothers. And as a result of this, he learns various abilities related to Goken, Ryu, and Ken, such as the Hadouken and the Shoryuken and stuff like that. And another example would be, who else? So many characters. Captain America. He's a super soldier, like in canon, in mainstream, but he's not just any super soldier. He is basically a gear super soldier. Gear being from Guilty Gear, basically a very amped up super soldier, like in the same similarity to Soul Bad Guy, for those who know Guilty Gear. He even I'm still working out his abilities in that regard, but he's an amped up super soldier. And what else? Brainiac is not only responsible for the destruction of Krypton, but planet Vegeta. And he's responsible for planet Vegeta's destruction, which caused Vegeta, Raditz, and Nappa to become nomads. Basically, they just search the universe looking for information on Brainiac and how to kill him. But haven't found anything. Eventually, their search takes them to Earth, where they end up meeting Superman and Goku. And that's just a little taste of that. I'm still working out the details in that regard as well, but you get the idea. Like, I'm mixing and matching things just to see how it goes. See what stories I can see what nice twists I can take on classic stories and still keep that classic that classicness to it, but with my own twist, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what else? Yeah, basically that's just it. I'm making it so it's just a mishmash of what I love mixed together in one big cooking pot, and pray that it comes out all right in the end.
All right.
Yeah.
well, yeah. All right. So, I believe next we're going to talk. We're going to allow questions. Some of us will ask some questions. You can answer them,
Yeah.
etc. And while I haven't seen any activity in chat yet, hopefully chat can also ask questions as well if they have any.
Yep. If you have any questions, chat, you can bring that up. But
Yeah.
anyone have any questions? Actually,
Well, I guess to hit us off. So what were your first core franchises you crossed over?
Well, for the Guardianverse, when it first started, basically the core ones at the forefront of it were Marvel, DC, Dragon Ball, Naruto, and Transformers, Godzilla, and Pokemon. I think those were basically the core ones at the very beginning.
Right.
Because those were the ones that I was the most familiar with at the time, but as time went on, it expanded. So yeah.
All right. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Um,
Okay. Anyone else have any questions?
I sort of do.
Oh boy.
Well, it's regarding because you like to change up and throw familiar characters in situations which are still sort of familiar but have a different tinge to them, and it's how far are you comfortable going with how that would alter the trajectory of how they end up actually developing as a character. So, like, Vegeta and Nappa become nomads, which is a very and Raditz, they become nomads, which is a very different path from basically still kind of obliviously being Frieza's like planet destroyers. And so how does that end up like changing who they become, or does it at all? And so the extent of that.
It's varying depending on it, but generally they're more. Well, this takes a little explaining. The reason why, for those wondering why Frieza isn't in the picture, is because Frieza and his brother Cooler were taken by Darkseid as to be future generals for him, and so as to for King Cold to basically they were given to Darkseid in exchange for sparing King Cold and the Frost demons as a whole. So here, take these two; they'll serve you greatly, and just don't blow us up, and we'll serve you as a result. And Darkseid agreed to this. He takes them in, trains them, and eventually sicks them on their own race, and has them wipe them out as a test of their allegiance to Darkseid. So with them out of the pit, so with Frieza and Cooler out of the way, the whole Frieza force and taking over Planet Vegeta and everything is kind of more or less not there. The Saiyans are still, they were still how they were in canon with, taking over planets and everything, but they just didn't have like tougher bosses than them. They were on their own bosses. But to get to Hank's question, the destruction of Planet Vegeta the only reason why Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz become nomads is because Vegeta feels pissed off at Brainiac for blowing up the planet, because he's like, damn it, I was going to rule that planet. This green asshole comes out of nowhere and blows it up. And so he's basically on a quest to kill the guy who, blew up what was essentially his, even though in canon he didn't give really much of a crap about it. But I figured I'd just add that little twist to him to give him a reason for wanting to track down Brainiac. But as characters as a whole, they're, again, similar to their Saiyan Saga selves, but a little more laid back, because they've been nomads now, just looking more for information rather than going from planet to planet destroying anything, because, well, their bosses and their king are dead. Everyone assumes the Saiyans are all wiped out, and just, like, no one's going to pay them anymore to about planets and make them basically, empty homes for new races to come in and take over. And so basically they're just, nomads looking for revenge, and it leads them to Nexus Earth, the name of the planet in the Guardianverse, and again, I keep going off track here. Again, last time, not that different from canon, but a little bit more laid back to where they're not going to like outright destroy a planet in case it has information they might need, and they don't get pissed off. When coming to Earth, they do get their butts kicked by Superman and Goku, and maybe a few others. I'm not sure on that yet because I haven't quite worked out that whole little mini Saiyan arc yet. But and by that point, they're like, okay, they know these guys. I mean, business is to just not piss them off any more than we already have. And since the Kryptonian Superman may have information on Brainiac, you know, best to be on his side, or, you know, something like that.
All right.
Sorry if that's the best answer, but that's the best I can come up with. I haven't really.
Find your answer to be too short.
I mean, if it was too, if your answer was too short, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be really a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just say just because when you make a crossover. You got to actually explain shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we all made that mistake when we started our crossover verses in some degree, and then later on, as we go more and more on, it's like, huh, you know,
I'm still doing it. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
There are exceptions to this rule, but not always.
Yeah, the thing about making crossover universes is that it is a learning process. Like as you go, you're like, okay, I gotta keep this in mind and take and address this little issue that people are going to point out at some point. I'm just like with my Guardianverse facts, which I use to help tell the stories a bit and explain the differences. I just sort of skim over some of that stuff because I myself am still figuring out. It's not like some people may think my crossover is great, and sure, I guess it's okay, but I'm like, it's good, but I still got things I need to fix in there. I just need to stop procrastinating and get to it.
Here, here.
Here, indeed.
Yep.
Yeah. Especially, because you have like all these universes combined into your Guardianverse, right? Compared to some crossover versus like mine, for example, where I'm going more the old fashioned of each universe is separate from each other and stuff. And for stuff like that, you have to definitely take each universe into consideration because technology is different, people are different, all sorts of stuff. So it's like for stuff like that, you definitely need to, I don't know, for your mega, like your Omniverse, basically, as you put it. It's like you still have to put some thought, but it's not as difficult because, you know, everyone shares the same world, basically, just with some differences here and there.
Yeah, like, however, like, there are a few exceptions to having them all share the same universe. Is like, I do have One Piece as a part of the Guardianverse, but due to how wacky and just out there some of it is, it's a part of the Guardianverse's multiverse, but it's its own separate world. So like you can think of One Piece as One Piece, like no real changes at all, but it is a world that the heroes and a crossover with now and again. So it like the real wacky. The universes that I want in my stories, but don't quite know how to properly integrate. I basically just have those move to the side a little bit and have them as their own, you know, alternate reality sort of thing. So, yeah.
You mentioned these facts and stuff that you make and stuff. Would you actually mind showing some of, like, you know, basically doing a little showcase of those facts for the audience?
Oh, sure. I can. Should I link some here in the Discord, or just read some off?
Oh wait,
Oh wait, we got a question.
yeah.
Oh,
Indominus from the in the Discord chat anyways. Exactly how many franchises are a part of the Guardianverse? You don't have to list them all. I just want to know the exact number.
good thing I have this pre-made.
Oh boy.
Oh no, wait, hold on, wait. Let me better show. Let me better show this. Now,
weren't
I
supposed
just
to
want.
that.
I just want to point out, totally forgot to fix this list because there are 2 of the same world franchises named in here. So, like, don't. That's just a little error I made because I didn't realize I already had it in there. But that's basically the list.
All right, let me.
Oh Christ.
That's
Yep.
It's funny. My Discord literally said, "Hold up, are you sure you want to?" Yes, Discord. I want to see.
yes.
Okay. So,
A lot.
Yeah, a
Alright,
lot.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. And there's an issue. There is an issue. The more things I come to like, the more likely that is to grow.
Oh yeah, no, that's for sure. Like that's for
Mhm.
everyone's crossoververse and stuff.
Yeah,
is
no.
that because more stuff continues to come out, different TV shows, cartoon, anime, video games, and stuff, and then you watch them, play them, whatever. It's like I like this. How do I add this into my crossoververse?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna add it.
I'm a add this right here, and it's already already jammed. And you're like, I'm gonna squish it in somehow. It's like playing Tetris.
Exactly.
How?
How am I going to make this fit?
Okay, I
Eventually, just.
oh, go on.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go on.
You go ahead.
Okay. Okay, well, in that case, I definitely have to ask this. Like, how difficult is it? So, when, like, a new show or something comes out, like, how long would you say the process takes to, like, watch it and be like, okay, how do I incorporate this into the Guardianverse?
Well, depending on what it is, and depending on what the show, game, anime, whatever it is that captures my attention, it generally doesn't take very long because sometimes you'll run across a show and stuff that shares similar themes with what you already have going, and if it works properly, you can actually add it you can just smoothly slide it into the DM more or less, and without any real issue. And but generally, it doesn't take me too long. I don't think. It just depends on how well the show or whatever it is that is entertaining me captures my attention and gives me enough reason to add it in and like establish a connection with it and stuff along those lines.
All right.
Yeah. But if I had to say if you needed a specific number, like a hour, a day, or a week, again, depends on what it is. Sometimes it's instantaneous. Sometimes it's not for a while until after I'm done with the whole thing, and then I'm like, okay, I can work with this.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah. Now, are there any more questions from either chat? Because in Twitch chat, we got like 5 people in here. I know it's probably just all of us in here. We're looking at chat. Or and if it's like someone from Discord chat, yeah, it's also someone pulling double duty on here. Any other questions? Because if not, we're gonna because I think we might move on to finer details.
Well, okay, I guess I can ask this then. So I noticed how there are definitely some stuff in there, like say My Hero Academia, that's still ongoing. And, that's obviously a question of like, as shows like that are ongoing, it's definitely a question of, okay, if I do this thing for the Guardianverse, but then something happens later on in that story, it's like, wait, that could affect, previous things I established, like what about stuff like that, basically. You just kind of go with the flow, and if need to change things, you just change it and stuff like that.
It depends on whether or not I agree with the change that happened in the show. So, like, if, for example, like if they were to change, like, what would they change, like the origin of, let's say, a hypothetical change of Midoriya was related to All for One, for example. I wouldn't really change it because I don't like that in the Guardianverse, because it's like, that's kind of dumb. I know the creator is a big fan of Star Wars, but there's no reason to go that far. So, like, it just depends on the change that occurs in the show. So if it's a good change and I like it, I'll add it. If I don't like it, I just completely ignore it and go my own path. So
Yeah, obviously.
Right.
yeah.
It should also be noted, just a quick note, is that there's like a 50-50 chance that's going to be an actual thing in My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
And it's just like a fan theory, so we can possibly scratch it off, but, you know.
Well, again,
Yeah, at the same time, it's like, that little theory there is looming overhead.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time an anime protagonist was related to the big bad.
True. But in this case, it'd be one that I didn't really agree with.
Anywho.
Just because, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I guess we can go on then.
Yeah. I do also have one more question.
Okay.
So, in terms of, say, let's use like another example of, say that, well, yes, it is like the similar question of like, what do you do if something comes out? If there's something that's clearly like a hole in like in the plot of a show, how do you go about doing the crossovers? How do you go about explaining what that is, or like plugging in the holes? How do you go about it?
That's a good question. Plugging up the holes. Well, depends on what kind of hole we're talking about. Because again, it's the
like,
same as like.
It's like a bit of the unknown and the like something that's like plot, like explaining like the reasonings and what possibly is like like plot holes, and also just general like answering, doing like making up your own answers to questions that are not being answered by show creators and whatnot.
Generally, I'll just make up my own answers that I feel best suit the plot hole. So, like, I'm trying to think of an example. What would be a good example? I'm going through my facts here. I've got tons of them, just looking like, yeah, there's bound to be some plot holes in here somewhere. Damn it, can't find any. Damn it, facts, you fail me.
Maybe you have too many.
Yeah, I might have too many.
It's not that you failed. It's not that they fail you. You failed them.
Yeah. I guess. I just found one that basically reiterate. To go back to the earlier question of like, damn, what was the first question before plot holes? A change in like canon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The basic. So this is basically something I haven't really changed in regards to Resident Evil 7. When at the end of it we saw Chris Redfield show up. Spoiler alert for anyone who has not played Resident Evil 7 or seen it. But so spoiler, don't want to hear it. Click off for a few minutes or mute it for like a minute or two. But if you haven't seen it, stick around. So at the end, you all know how Chris Redfield shows up at the end of Resident Evil 7, and he has the umbrella logo on his vest or whatever. And a lot of people were theorizing that it wasn't Chris Redfield, it was someone else, or it was, a few theories came out. One of the theories that came out was Hunk from one of the previous Resident Evil games. I basically ran with that theory that the Chris Redfield that shows up at the end of Resident Evil 7 is Hunk, and I've gone with that in the Guardianverse, where now I haven't addressed Resident Evil 7's plot in the Guardianverse yet, but basically S.H.I.E.L.D. Has reports indicating that an Umbrella agent, Hunk, used facial reconstruction to disguise himself as Chris Redfield. For what purpose? No one really knows outside of deception and stuff along those lines. And then it's revealed in Resident Evil 8 that Chris Redfield is still one of the good guys, and that was in fact Chris Redfield. I've basically just kind of ignored that change and stuck with the Hunk being the Chris Redfield we saw in Resident Evil 7 is Hunk. That sort of thing.
All right.
Yeah. Then to address plot holes, generally I will either ignore those or just come up with my own idea that fills in that gap that the plot hole came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No other questions?
Going
What's
once.
the +2?
What?
What?
Answer the damn question.
That's technically
Do it,
speaking,
you
2 plus
coward.
2.
Hey, I don't think you're
can
supposed
only
to
mean-
antagonize the audience.
Can only mean
I
one
am
answer.
the audience.
I am the audience.
You thought there were more people, but it was I, Hank.
Bruh. All right.
Oy.
I just had to do that.
Alrighty. Now then. Anywho. Oh, just quick answer. It is 44.
Who?
Okay.
Anywho. So, I guess next we'll move on to all the facts and
Yeah.
everything that you can explain to us. So I'm currently in the on le facts panel
about-
of your.
I'm about to say if maybe it probably might be a better idea if Wolf. Do you know how to
Yes.
like a screen share?
Yeah, I know how to do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna
That
say
way
'cause I
we're
could-
all on the same page. Basically, we just need to watch
Yeah.
his thing and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see, entire screen. Hopefully this works. I've had issues where it never shows up, so either it's going to show or it's going to be a blank, a black void.
It should just be the It should just be just like the internet DeviantArt.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it working?
Yep, I see it.
Oh, yep. Here we go. So, let's start from. You know what? We'll start from like the newest, and
Are we gonna do all of them?
Wow.
we're not gonna do all. We're gonna pick
No.
a select few. We're,
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what we're going
Okay.
to do.
Yes, and Dominus.
Yeah.
sound
I've
effects.
got, yeah, I've got 53 pages here with a lot of facts, so
Oh, yeah.
if we were to do all of them, this
Yeah,
would be longer
no.
than 2
No.
hours.
We're gonna,
Well, it's
We'd be
a
here a
lot.
while.
yeah, we'd be here way too fucking long.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions and stuff, just go to my DeviantArt page. You can see it right up here.
Yeah, it'd be
I'll
way too
post
long.
it. I'll even post a link and stuff. Be like, oh hey, go check this guy.
Yeah,
Basically.
you guys can. A link will be posted.
Yep.
You guys can check it. So,
Mhm.
let us first talk about. Oh God!
Mhm.
You know what? Let's talk about the lion in the room.
Aslan?
Yes.
God, I'm really curious about that lion.
You're not familiar with Aslan?
No.
So, a quick thing.
Prepare to be
As-
educated.
A Aslan is technically a force of divine good in Narnia,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and he is considered like just the divine protector of it. Basically, Lion Jesus, if you want to compare him to something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But he's able, but he he has his he is like the wisest lion alive, which is not saying much, but considering we have big cats from other franchises like He-Man and the whole entire Thundercats,
Mm-hmm.
that's still saying some things.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So, anything in particular about him that you want to ask?
let us go on the main one you did about him, like the first one you ever wrote on Aslan.
Ooh, that will require me to go to search because I unfortunately don't know which one that would be, although I may not have too many of these. Very first one, nope, not that one.
The Great Lion Aslan. So,
Mhm.
explain to us what made you write this down.
I just basically wanted Lion Jesus in the Guardian verse.
Is that it? Seriously?
Yeah, basically.
I thought it would be actually something more philosophical, like, I
Remember
thought it
how-
would be a great, like, mentor and, possibly.
Remember
Well,
how earlier we were talking about how we don't do things just cause?
I think, yeah, that's.
Well, yeah. It was a just cause. Originally, it was just a just cause I want him there moment. But it was also. But after I did it, I was like, huh. There are a lot of cool things I can do with Aslan more than just have him there. I can, like Rox. Like Raxmus said, I can have him be a great mentor to certain characters. I can have him interact with these whole bunch of different characters, and it would be cool to see that. So that came after the just cause. So yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
yeah.
Although, I will admit, I thought you had that ready to explain it before the just cause. Because I was not expecting you to be like, well, I wanted to do it.
Because he's a big cat, and yes.
He's a big talking cat.
He's the big talking cat. Of course, I wanted him there.
Do not speak the words to me.
If I remember correctly, you have Kingdom Hearts, but you also have like other Disney characters and stuff in the Guardian verse.
Mhm.
Do you have any plans of Aslan interacting with Simba, or the Lion King characters?
I've had vague ideas for it, but nothing concrete yet. I mean, to see them to have them interact is a goal of mine. I just have to come up with the scenario that leads to that.
Obviously.
So,
I
yeah.
just came up with this hilarious idea that Aslan was momentarily Mufasa.
At the wrong time. No.
Whoops.
God, brother, help! He just like responds, I have made a poor choice.
I mean, better thought was that like at some point, Aslan and Mufasa were like friends before.
Yeah, that's more.
That could be. That's not a bad idea. I think you just gave me an idea.
Idea, eh? But
How about just take this idea?
Just type it down.
another. Just type it.
Yeah,
write
how
it
about
right
just-
down.
Yeah, I'm gonna just write this down.
Oh, Jesus.
I just realized I'm still at screen share, so you can see this.
Good job. Good job.
I better remember this later, otherwise I might go to the not safe for work chat by accident. Get us kicked off Twitch.
Oh no. All right, so go. All right, let's stay within the facts now.
Uh huh.
And
Yeah.
who So,
Mhm.
I guess another thing. Let's talk about the clone blades, or like the the whole.
Oh yes.
Because
We'll
I'm
make
not
sure-
too familiar with it as myself.
I've never even heard of Clone Blade. What's that from?
Clone blade.
I've never heard of it either.
Oh yeah, I too heard of the popular anime franchise, Clone Braids.
My favorite comic book, The Witch Braid.
Hey guys, you know the new issues coming out? The braiding.
The
You
derpness
guys are
and the
acting like
braid.
I can throw everything.
Anywho,
I wasn't expecting that. Anywho, to be fair,
oh,
my knowledge on Clone Blades in the show they're from, which is the Witchblade anime, is still a little new to it. But from what I understand, they are basically government-made copies of the tried and true Witchblade, which makes them a little bit unstable.
right.
And basically in the Guardianverse, it goes by that same concept, being government-made weapons, because of course, mystical item, gotta make a weapon of this, because surely nothing can go wrong, right?
Surely nothing.
Yeah, but the downside of them being unstable has been reduced slightly. Like, from what I know, the clone blades do give the ladies who wear them a rather increased
Yes,
the drive of sorts. So that's still a thing.
not the thing about it.
Yeah.
It's either
but,
I'm either thinking it's bloodlust or something else, and I don't think we want to know what the something else is.
I don't want to know what it is.
Anyways,
well, let's.
anyhow,
Yeah. Anyways,
let's move on.
agreed.
So,
Before we get in trouble.
let us talk about some fantasy elements.
All right.
Let us see about just, you know what? Pick any Lord of the Rings facts that you want to explain.
Ooh, yeah, I'm down for Lord of the Rings.
Oof, I have not done much in regards to Lord of the Rings, but other than the recent facts I've done after my talks with
Middle Earth. You might wanna-
yeah, with Middle Earth and stuff, I haven't done a whole lot, other than let's see.
Yeah, you
I
might
just
want to
had-
write Middle Earth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that might work.
Yeah,
Actually,
Yeah,
I like one of the most recent facts I did with it is that in regards to Lord of the Rings or Middle Earth, is that the Middle Earth, which is supposed to basically be its own, I guess, planet in Lord of the Rings.
Technically, it's supposed the world of Arda is much different from what we are known for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but basically, now this takes a little explaining in regards to the Earth, the version of Earth in the Guardianverse, is basically, to sum it up, the Earth in Guardianverse is known as Nexus Earth. And to go with the Marvel Universe version of how they put numbers at the end of like Earth 616, Earth 1610, and so on and so forth. The main universe that everything happens in is known as Nexus Earth 1295 or 1295. And it is a Jupiter-sized planet. Now, I know some people will be scratching their heads like, how does the physics of this version of Earth work? And to that I answer,
They don't.
Yes.
They don't. This is fiction. This is fiction. Physics was never a question.
This is a world that's literally science and magic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say, when it
so
comes
the laws of physics don't really apply here.
Everyone has to say yes.
Yeah. But oh, go ahead.
I was gonna just say the great minds of physics would be crying.
Yes.
Yes, they are listening to this podcast now as we speak.
Hi, Albert Einstein. Hi, Nikola Tesla.
Hi, Mom.
Okay, anyway, before I go into a laughing fit here, but yeah, Nexus Earth and other versions of Nexus Earth in general, like Nexus Earth 542, are generally all larger versions of a normal Earth. And being Jupiter-sized, this Nexus Earth has not just the continents that are typically in most forms of fiction, including in the real world. They have continents that would normally be on whole other planets. So, like, you take, like, for example, Westeros. It's not its own separate planet. It's all the continents from Westeros are on Nexus Earth, somewhere on there. Middle Earth's continents, most of those are slapped on there somewhere. The nations from Avatar: Last Airbender, slapped on there as well. Dragon Ball's continents, you get the idea. There's a mishmash of these planets all fused into one great big one. And so, as a result of this, you could say that's why it has the physics of a normal-sized Earth, despite being Jupiter-sized. So, yeah. So, that's basically one of the more recent facts that I've done where Middle Earth and Westeros, as you can see here plainly by the Guardianverse fact on the screen, they are located somewhere on Nexus Earth. Due to my lack of any skills involving drawing and or map making, I cannot make you a map of what Nexus Earth would look like. So, other than just a brief, just a slight reference here and there.
I can see that.
Yeah, well, a lot of us, making maps is another whole thing entirely, but
Making anything is a whole other thing.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. For an idea of what Nexus Earth kind of looks like, let's see. I've got it right in here somewhere. Where is it? A friend of mine on DeviantArt did make this map for me, a celestial map of where the various planets are. For example, I do have Mobius, separate world, Eternia, separate, Apocalypse, obviously separate, Cybertron, again, yeah. And but here is basically Nexus Earth. Please don't imagine the green ring around it. I have gotten rid of that. I can no longer access the program that allowed me to make this own custom version of Nexus Earth, so I can't remake it, but this is basically what it kind of looks like. Some of the continents are merged together to make this larger continent, while others like America, Russia, China, Africa, and South America, and so on are separate. Like they would be over this way, where
yonder.
Middle Earth would be, let's say this is Middle Earth right here, and then this is something else. You get the idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great explanation. 10 out of 10.
So you have merged some lands from different Earth-like planets together and stuff like that, basically into its own Pangea.
Yeah, more or less. pretty much.
Wee bit.
I mean, again, I made this I randomly found this planet maker thing online, like, I don't know, what was it? Back in I want to say 2017. So a lot has changed since I first made this thing, but this is basically just to give you an idea of what it more looks like in my head. I just have no way of actually making it look that way.
Yeah.
So you get the idea.
Right.
But yeah, that's basically my foray into Lord of the Rings. Another foray is, Aslan being there for when Aragorn was made king of Middle Earth, and that's basically it for now. Recent talks with Raxmus have spurred me on to make more in regards to Middle Earth stuff from Lord of the Rings, but I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah.
These are more or less like ideals on how he can better meld the Middle Earth into, the Guardian verse.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all still a work in progress.
Of course.
Alrighty. Now, is there anything you guys want to ask about, like in terms of his facts, while we're here?
So you have these, not the facts, but you have stuff like the wields a keyblade. Those things, are those actually like permanent and stuff? Like, say Optimus is actually like a permanent wielder of the keyblade, or is it like a actual temporary sort of thing? Or
I'm thinking permanent because because the idea of Optimus being a Keyblade wielder is way too appealing, and the Starsaber being something of a Keyblade is also a cool idea that I'm planning to stick with, because I'm planning for Optimus to keep the Starsaber and to basically kind of be more like his in regards to being like a knight of sorts, like how he was in the Bayformers movies, as much as many of us may not be fans of that. I think a lot of us can agree that Optimus with a sword and shield and acting like a knight in the later Bayformers movies was pretty badass.
I agree.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as I have my gripes with that with the Bayformers, it was kind of cool.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sarah, do you have any questions? Since you've been quiet. Anything?
Sarah, you there?
Hold on.
I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm still here.
I was gonna
I
say,
got
do
nothing.
you have any questions about any facts that about like the facts of the Guardian verse? Anything you want to?
No, I don't have anything.
All right. All right. Next. Alrighty. So, if there's nothing else, then questions are still gonna be here. If anyone in Discord chat wants to ask, or if anyone in Twitch chat wants to ask of all the 4 people, quote unquote, watching.
Oof. Something tells me this ain't gonna be taken off.
I don't
Yeah,
say
I
that.
think
Well,
I mean,
We'll see.
remember, I'm also a small streamer, not like big.
yeah,
and
he's
stuff,
not
so-
like big. He's not a big.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
There's
jumping around.
we may
Josh.
continue this as like a little fun project for us to do.
I know. If anything
Yeah.
gets us, I mean, we talk and stuff. Again, this is basically all it is. We just talk, and I mean, if anything, people do come eventually. It's a way to gain
Yeah, this is
notice.
For now,
Yeah.
we're just going to be. This is just for us to have fun with. It's not really meant for us to have like go full on out like attempt to be popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are like trying to hit a niche audience here as well. So
Yeah, and for all we know, this may eventually appeal to future audiences as time goes on. Like, might gain more attention later on and stuff like that. So
Exactly. It takes
Yeah,
time
so-
for these things to get noticed.
Exactly.
yeah, and we do have to bear in mind that crossovers aren't a huge thing on things like Twitch and YouTube, so it'll probably take a while before crossover people find it on either of those platforms. So
Yeah.
we also have to bear that in mind.
Uses excuses.
Oh, don't worry. We'll eventually look. I'm being optimistic, saying we'll probably get at least a decent following.
Yeah.
Hope so.
Yeah,
All
even
right,
if it's even if it's just like 100 people, I'm fine with that.
Get ready for lots of questions if there were 100 people. Be like,
Oh god.
utter
Oh
chaos.
no!
We may need to limit limit the question.
Oh.
All right, so
Yep.
yeah.
Oh wait, we got a question.
Ooh.
What got you
Oh,
into
oh, boo.
XPS? Also, what was the inspiration for your main OC from I hope I'm not. I'm probably butchering that.
Nazak.
Well, to answer your first question, Igza, what got me into XPS was hold on. Should I still screen share or should I get off that?
Up to you, man.
That's up to you.
I'll just stop sharing screen for now until the time comes that I should again. I think enough people have seen it. But to answer your first question, I don't entirely remember how I got into it. I just started seeing a bunch of cool 3D art on DeviantArt with XPS and looked up, what the heck is XPS? What is this thing? Why does it look so cool? Why have I not heard of it sooner? And so it went from there. I downloaded it and I've been using it ever since to express my creativity in ways that I wasn't able to before, as I was limited to just PNG renders with backgrounds and memes where you could make teams of heroes. And boy, did I make a lot of those for a while. Oy. But yeah, that's basically just how I found XPS at random and downloaded it, and here I am with my artwork. And as for the inspiration for my OC, well, it kind of comes down to the inspiration for my DeviantArt name, Wolfblade 111. I like wolves. I like swords. So it was easy to mix those two together and come up with Wolfblade. I don't know why I chose 111. I just went with that. And so my main OC, Wolfblade, yeah, I know, original, was born from that. I don't want to say he is a self-insert into my stories. He's just more of a character who I needed a name for, and Wolfblade sounded good enough for a name, and it just went from there. The biggest inspiration for him is just literally, I like wolves, I like swords, I like sci-fi and fantasy. I slapped them together, and Wolfblade is the result of that mishmash, basically.
All right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you got the inspiration from what I forget which Dark Souls boss, but it was like the giant wolf with the that just wields a sword in its mouth. I thought
it was Wolfblade the Third.
Oh,
That sounded- that
we got
was
another
so-
question,
That was so
Uh-oh.
badass,
gentlemen.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we got a question from the judge, jury, and the executioner.
What's your favorite
Oh,
thing
boy.
about your OC, Wolfblade?
Favorite thing. Probably he is a cybernetic. It should be noted that he is human under the armor, but he has a werewolf transformation. But that werewolf transformation is a cyborg werewolf whose armor. The origins I have changed up so much. My current origin for it is it was forged by angels and Valkyries for whatever reason to basically combine holy angelic power with the kickassery of Nordic mythology. And I guess that'd be my favorite thing about him is that, he's just a werewolf guy who can transform into a cyborg werewolf. Or something akin to one.
Why does that sound so badass?
That I don't know why, but it also sounds like something that would be awesome in a Killer Instinct game.
Cyborg werewolf. It's like you would not think of that because it's half robot and someone who's half human,
wolf.
but wolf. Then, like,
Yeah. I like werewolves too, and I like badass armor. Why has no one ever put the two together?
Yeah, why not?
Also,
Yeah.
Can we go back to earlier what Croissant said about your 111 being the third? Can that be your new name from now on? That sounds so much more badass than Wolfblade 111. Wolfblade the third.
Well, I should just.
Well,
I should just explain.
Isn't your
Wolfblade
Wolfblade like the 100th and 11th host of like the power?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but again, I have this horrible thing where I cannot really narrow down a good origin story for my original
He was
characters.
bitten by a radioactive cybernetic wolf and leave it at that. Jeez.
Well, I guess I could go that route if I wanted to be real
And
lazy.
then the wolf shot his parents. There.
Oh my god!
Oh God! Well, I guess
Reverse
we kind of
Batman.
in one version of the of Wolfblade's origin, his parents were abusive, and he did end up going back and ripping them to shreds. So I guess I could kind of work in a reverse Batman side of this.
Oh my god!
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I'm going to admit, this is one of the reasons why I've redone Wolfblade's origin is because my original origin for him was sadly the cringy, edgy, dark for no real reason other to try and make him seem cool type of origin. Basically, he grew up in a broken home with his sister, who was the only good thing in that home. His father was an abusive, drunken maniac. His mother was no different. And basically one day, it should be noted that in the universe that, this was like back when I first started the Guardianverse. So Wolfblade himself was in his own separate reality, separate from any of the official franchises. So one day he looked up in the sky and he saw a shooting star crash not far away from I guess the farmhouse they were in, they lived in out in the middle of nowhere. He snuck out, went to go check on it, and found this meteor with some armor in it. It got close and it jumped on him like how the Omnitrix did to Ben Tennyson in Ben
that's
10.
Ben 10 right there.
I was just about to start singing the theme song,
Oh God!
which I don't know the lyrics to. So
Also, I would like to point out from Indominus, to be fair with you, Wolf, we always had that one edgy OC we regret making.
Yeah, mine was called Double Edge.
Oh my God! You're not wrong, Indominus. I'll give you that. However, how many people still keep that OC around, but reboot his origin story and looks so often that you could probably make several different realities based on those rewrites.
You know, something I'm realizing, I don't know if you attended or not, but your first origin story was a combination of Superman living on a farm in the middle of nowhere and Ben 10 with the armor jumping on him. And now your second origin story is, or the way Chris made it was a combination of Spider-Man being bit by a radioactive werewolf, I think it was, and then having your parents killed.
Radioactive cybernetic werewolf.
There we go, yeah. And then your parents killed like Batman, like...
You know,
And then he's struck by lightning.
you know.
Well, I guess if I wanted to go the crazy route, I could go that way and say that's why he can summon electricity.
Oh, I thought you were going to go the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy route. I don't know if you guys have seen their origin, but it was like they crossed the sky on a full moon on Friday the 13th on a leap year.
Oh, no.
I think I remember that.
Okay.
Oh god. Well. Oh, there's a lot of
But,
typing.
They eat over
Yeah.
cooked
Yeah.
popcorn.
One other thing I just remembered. One of the ideas for Wolfblade is that the armor is inhabited by a wolf god. Hence, his incredible powers. And to say that Wolfblade was a broken, overpowered son of a bitch in the original Guardianverse would be an understatement. The guy was capable of slicing suns in half with his sword. I have severely depowered him a
I
bit
was
to
gonna
make
say
him.
that sounds like it
No.
needs the nerf hammer.
Yeah, I've nerfed him a good deal. He can no longer cut suns in half like a hot knife through butter, ironically. But
Now he can just reach out of the page and strangle the reader.
Oh my god.
only in certain role plays.
You're going to Brazil.
Was he was he so strong that he could even kill Deadpool?
No.
Aw.
The reason I say that is because the reason why I say that is because in my head, I have Deadpool as an occupant, along with Wolfblade as an occupant, and the amount of times Deadpool has mutilated, how many times Wolfblade has mutilated Deadpool, yeah, he's tough, but he's not powerful enough to actually fully kill Deadpool. Trust me, I've tried it many times myself, and no success.
No.
Okay.
No.
Deadpool's stuck in my head.
It's probably only gonna get worse.
Well, to be fair, I've lived with him in my head since 2006, so I think I'm pretty good, all things considered.
Could be worse.
Although maybe some of my fetishes might be to be blamed on him.
Anywho, anywho, moving on. Back to
Yep.
the. Oh,
Yeah.
hold on.
What? What happened?
Oh, just stream. I was playing the Cantina Star Wars Cantina.
Indominus was playing the Cantina theme. I have that as a sound in my chat.
Oh.
Yeah, I did listen.
What happened?
Anyways, so anywho, getting back on track about the Guardianverse.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna. So since we're in an hour and 24 minutes in, about to become 25.
Oof.
We are going to basically start doing lightning round questions and talking about the Guardianverse.
Oh boy, lightning round questions. This ought to be good.
Well, okay, not really lightning rounds, but like just last questions, and then and possibly just
Gotcha.
any last remarks that you want to give about the Guardianverse before we possibly wrap up within the next, I don't know, half an hour or so.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Although I was kind of expecting that we would be getting to other people in this podcast, but I didn't realize it was just going to be me for this one. But all right, that's
It'll
fine.
be 3 days long.
Yeah, if you're, yeah,
That's true.
We've already agreed that even if we tried to do that, we are technically doing it under 2 hours or 2 hours, and it would be a pain in the ass to.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I think it's fair to give everyone else a chance, but
Yeah,
since this whole thing is about Wolf, we may have to do it again on another.
Next time we're gonna next time we're gonna make it an open one where anyone can join and talk about their crossovers or universes.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I get a feeling that'll be chaotic.
I didn't find yet. Oh,
What?
Oh, I
Was there?
I said because I didn't talk about.
You cut out there. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah. All right, everyone quiet.
Going well.
Well then, that was.
I think we went quiet, and then he went quieter.
No, I can still hear you guys. It's just, can you guys not hear me?
You were quiet.
I couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just that you seem to cut out a little bit here and there.
Oh, well, that's because I'm chatting on my phone instead of a computer.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh.
I'm here to tell you that that's not an excuse.
You either go big or you go home.
No, because I'm on the phone.
This man is flexing.
Before we get to the lightning round real quick, I need to take a quick little short break just real quickly. I'll be right back, if that's all right.
All right.
If
I'm
allowed.
We'll also probably be taking a break here. And
this is the part of the podcast where you badmouth Wolf stuff.
Do that, I got video evidence, motherfucker.
I know, it'll be like Christmas morning where you know you got coal, but you don't know how much.
It's like I just realized a lot of us are gonna have to stay here, are gonna have to rewatch the stream if we're gonna post some clips and nips of it on YouTube.
What do you mean? So
I'm the one. I can't wait until we're big enough for a Wolf typing compilation.
Oh god.
Or just a Wolfblade.
That would be interesting.
Or just a Wolfblade, or just dumb, no brain cell moments where we.
What are you talking about? I already made that today when I was like cross
braids. You're right.
My mouth just shut off. It just like.
That sucks.
I'm starting a new hashtag in the chat.
Oh my god.
Hashtag cross braids. Can we get that trending chat?
Yeah,
we just get it trending on Twitter with zero context behind it.
Zero.
Wait a minute.
No context.
Yeah,
No
people are
one
just on Twitter and they're like, "What the fuck is crossbreed? Why is it trending?"
What the hell? Wait,
what happened?
Nothing.
What happened?
Nothing. I mean, Wolfblade. Yeah.
Way to make it seem like we weren't talking about him behind his back.
Yes.
Oh, it's you. Hi.
Hi.
Oh shit.
Hello there.
Oh shit.
Oh
I didn't
shit.
expect him to be back.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Some fries.
Don't think I didn't hear you talking shit.
But you didn't.
Oh, Maximus.
That was my dog.
I didn't even hear anything. Wait, your dog was talking shit about Wolf?
No, my dog was barking. She just barked. I'm like, oh god, please don't pick up.
I didn't hear the dog.
Like, Wolfblade is still OP.
Oh no.
The dog.
My dog has it out for you, Wolf. You're too overpowered.
Oh no. No. I'm not your enemy, dog.
You're going to the cringe corner.
Oh no. Yeah, I guess I'm a little cringe.
I got a better hashtag.
Uh-oh.
Dogs are better than.
Why, you little...
And anywho,
That's what Rex's dog
Don't
said.
Don't make me reach my hand through this microphone and strangle you!
oh god,
Yeah, I told you
Anywho.
he still had that power.
oh god.
just
God, help
just
us.
cartoon style.
Anywho, so question for a question for me. What is the plan and of the future of the Guardianverse? Are you gonna have it have like a? Are you gonna have like it as an endpoint, or are you just gonna keep it going for as long as you can?
I have an idea for there to be an endpoint. Whether or not I'm ever able to reach the endpoint is going to be the question. like I've got plans and ideas that I want to do between the beginning of it and towards the end. I'm thinking though that the last saga in the Guardianverse, known as the Future Fight saga, yes, that is a reference to the Marvel game Future Fight, basically takes place in a sort of a sort of time skip ahead into the future, showcasing the older Guardians and their children who have now started to take up the mantles of their parents or take up their own mantles. And I'm not sure how I'm going to end off that saga in particular, but the Future Fight saga will be like the last for the saga for the Guardianverse and end off there. Basically, I'm just not certain how I will end it. So, yeah.
Everyone dies.
No. Well, maybe.
Whoa.
It ends in blood.
All right, who kills
might
the
be some-
universe this time?
Yeah, no reboot this time. Your reboots won't save you.
It should be like
Alright.
Thanos snaps his fingers and then he starts disappearing. He's like, "Oh wait, shit!" And then everyone just disappears. And that's it.
He's like,
Oh wait, no, wrong snap.
Wrong snap. I snapped my pinky finger instead of my middle finger. Oh God! Imagine if imagine if that's how the powers of the Infinity Stones were used, depending on which finger you snapped with.
snapping the index finger just gives you more like resources.
The middle one's what kills everybody.
He snaps half the way the universe. Like, wait, that's not supposed to happen.
Oh shit! I was told that it was the middle finger that gave more resources.
That'd be a funny one.
All right. Anyone else got any more questions we wanted to go on? Because if not, then we're just gonna start up the idle chats.
Talking about sagas, who would you say is the characters, either OC or not OC, presents the biggest threat to the Guardianverse at large?
Ooh, I guess I could for Saga in particular, or just like in general,
Grander scope, meaning,
Ah.
like if we are marching into the final battle with the villain of the universe, who would it most likely be?
Well, I guess in a way this could kind of be a combo of both a canon character and a OC. Basically, the biggest looming threat to the Guardianverse is still my other OC, the Dark. But after the reboot, he has now merged with the Realm of Darkness from Kingdom Hearts, making it into an even worser place to be than it was before in mainstream. So in a way, the realm of darkness / the dark is the big looming threat that will eventually be. I don't want to say he'll be defeated for good, because the realm of darkness and the dark represent, like the dark half of everything in creation. So killing him would bring an imbalance to everything rather than preserve everything. So I'm not going to say he's going to be utterly obliterated, but something will happen where he's basically just held back again and kept in check so he doesn't wreak havoc like he did in the old Guardianverse, which I should point out the current universe's occupants do end up starting to have memories of that old reality. But if you need info on that, just look to my Guardianverse facts. There's stuff on that.
There's about 500 of them. Just read through them.
That's a good day of reading.
Exactly. It's like
Your homework
It's like reading a
assignment is
book.
to read facts 1 through 500.
Challenge accepted.
Well, actually, I've got 1,269 Guardianverse facts. Good luck.
I would
That's
I
why I
mean,
said the 500.
like-
You don't sign the entire book for one night.
but
Good
here's
point.
a difference.
Bad teaching.
Here's a difference. These facts are actually more interesting than schoolwork.
this is true. It's very
Also,
much true.
what Indominus posted in the chat.
What the?
I saw the sun in half.
And I guess he's gonna fix up with flex tape.
I remember some of
that's
him.
right.
Prepared it using only retcons.
Exactly. And with the power of retcons, I can fix it.
Wow, not a sign that it was cut in half at all.
That's a lot of damage.
How
about a little
some more?
That would be one hell of flex tape.
Anywho, so anyone else got any more questions before we just talk? Before we all just ramble on till the near the 2-hour mark?
Do you have any more, I guess, crossovers with the other Crossoververses? Sort of like, in a way, do you have like any ideas for future Crossoververses crossovers? That's a mouthful.
Pick me.
Sure. Go ahead, Hank. You can explain this one.
Oh yeah, Wolf and I have been planning a crossover that we have no idea what to do or where to go with it. So we've kind of just been like, "Hey, you want to do a crossover?" Yeah, and then we kind of just left the conversation at that.
To be fair, Hank, I don't think you've like completely established your universes in general completely. So that might be kind of why we haven't.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. It's just not written down.
Well, then start writing, bitch.
It's hard to put such excitement into words.
Not really, but okay.
Oh yeah, I'm a perfectionist.
Well, I mean,
Oh, that's fair.
Well, like there's no huge rush for the
And I
crossover.
have
Like
a
we
day job, so
Yeah, like no rush or anything. Take your time. There's no big hurry. I'm at the rate I'm going. I'm probably going to be dead before the Guardianverse is even remotely finished. I'll be at my desk at 95 years old, writing my current Guardianverse spec, and then
A final fact that never gets finished.
that's kind of
Yep.
well, that's
it's
kind
not
of
even like an
depressing.
important fact. It's like a Batman likes Cheetos fact.
Aha! Joke's on you. I already have that planned.
Oh, good. That is very vital.
Final fact he post. Final fact he posts. Batman likes memes.
And then dies. Or Batman slaps Robin constantly for the memes.
That's a meme already. What do you mean?
He does it more than usual. My parents are fucking dead.
Kids show up and they're like, "We want an autograph." He's like, "Oh, you want me to do the slap?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah." And he slaps Robin for the camera.
Poor Robin.
It's not even like any one Robin. It's just any of them that are nearby. It's like Tim, come
Yeah.
over here. Yeah, Bat. Just
He keeps one in his utility belt.
He uses pin particles to shrink down that particular Robin to use for slapping.
No, it's an actual legit robin. Like an actual bird robin.
Oh
he changes
no!
it into human, and he gets so confused. Like, where am I? Then slap.
That
We
poor
here-
bird.
We here in the Podverse do not condone animal
Cruelty.
violence. Yeah,
Yeah, we
Oh my
told-
god. No,
We
it's
do, however, find it hilarious.
indeed.
no. Wait, is that one meme where the guy is that guy who slaps everyone around him, but it's Batman?
Yeah. Yes, the slap.
But only
Coming
if
to-
they're dressed
Ow,
as
what the-
Robin.
Basically, it would be. Ah, damn it! Where's that GIF? It's here somewhere. Oh, where
It just
is
looks
it? Good enough.
It's this one.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. I was looking that up right now.
It's just his entire bat family that he's slapping.
All the villains coming to attack him.
I'd argue that'd be all like the villains from the Guardianverse trying to attack the Guardians. Just
To
when
be
the
fair, that
Guardians-
is how some threats are dealt with.
just slap.
I mean, when you have a super-powered hero go up against a non-powered villain, yeah.
Yeah. All non-powered villains
What-
against.
you know what?
good-
Honestly, this is probably what people expect when Superman faces off against Batman villains.
Yeah.
No,
Not
he
realizing.
just no, he just like literally punches through their chest.
Oof.
Injustice.
Oh no! How dare you bring that sacrilege here? The heresy.
I mean,
Anywho.
didn't that happen in the video game version, which is better?
And
It happened in every
Kind-
version.
kinda. There's a
Yeah.
there's a movie. There's a there's a
Comic books.
comics.
There. And then there's the game.
Yeah, then there's the game. Next, what we need is a TV show.
Oh no! In the style of The Boys. Ugh.
Oh my god.
Oof.
Yeesh. Anywho, any other questions for Wolf?
What would happen if Wolf Guardian slapped the sun?
You would fucking die.
Well, it depends on which version. If we're talking the old version, it'd basically be this
Oh my god.
because of singularity.
Oh god. Maybe that's how the universe got resetted.
Maybe. If we're talking current version,
No, fuck off.
I don't know why
Okay.
I just imagine him hitting the sun and it goes flying into another planet. They're like, is that sun getting
Bruh.
closer?
Bruh.
bruh.
And Dominus just
I
played
know.
bruh. Actually, I can use the points to play something of my own. I have 200.
Nice. So, anyone else got any other questions for me, or we want to be joking around until time's up?
All right. Anyone else? Because we got like a 15-minute, I believe, because it's
Well,
1:45. Like,
I got
in terms
nothing.
of- got nothing. Acerna, you got nothing.
I mean, I
Okay.
did have a question, but I don't think it counts because it's kind of a joke question.
I mean, you can ask it anyway. What is it?
Yeah, joke questions.
Yeah, it counts. Go ahead.
All questions count.
Yeah, okay, I'll ask my joke question. How much are you worth, Wolf?
Okay.
Never mind.
Never
Be
mind.
honest, if I were to spend one night with you, how much would it cost?
Whoa!
Wow.
Too rich for your blood.
Okay, that took a turn.
Okay. And
Just
gentlemen,
for that, you
Good thing I
deserve.
graduated. Good thing I graduated school recently, so now I won't miss these. I'm laughing so much.
Thank
I'm
you, Dominus.
laughing. I'm laughing so much.
Thank you, Dominus.
Laughing.
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 Well, okay.
Oh, that wasn't the right bonk.
That was.
That was not the right bonk. I need to find the correct bonk for that response.
Wait, there's two different
Any-
versions? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
this one's longer. Boom, bitch.
Anywho, I guess we'll be talking about some of it. We'll be jokingly talking about some events. We'll be talking about things that aren't, things that aren't jokes, things that are, etc., etc. I will pull up a fact for all of us to jokingly talk about.
Oh boy.
And I say the first one we talk about is pointing fun at the Dothraki within Outworld. Because normally I do not see them surviving at least a day in Outworld normally.
Well, if the last season of Game of Thrones is anything to go by, I don't think they would even last a second.
Pretty sure if the last season of Game of Thrones happened in the Guardianverse, everyone in that universe would be like, "What the fuck's wrong with you, idiots?"
Yep, pretty much.
Here.
I've legit not seen Game of Thrones, but I did see that battle everyone talked about, and I was like, "Wow,
Battle over Winterfell.
yeah." And I was just like, "Wow, I can see
It
why."
gets worse.
I can see what everyone was talking about.
Yeah, it gets worse.
Yeah, like the Dothraki are set up to be these badasses, and we don't see, and then we see them charge into battle. Poof, dead. Like what the fuck?
You don't even see
hyped
the
them up.
battle.
You don't even see them.
The funny thing about that is that the whole idea was that the Dothraki are obviously based on like the Mongols and Huns, and general horse archery culture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
However, they had recently gone through a battle. Not recently, but they gone through a battle where they did the same tactic, charging headfirst onto like a determined wall of warriors, and they got their shit rocked so badly that they never again would do that. A century or how many long it was since that battle later, they did the exact same thing towards something even worse than Unsullied.
What?
White Walkers and the whites.
Oof. So much for not repeating that tactic.
And what's funny is that they could have easily avoided that situation by just, doing horse archer tactics and skirmishing.
Exactly.
But gotta get the intensity there.
I would say lackluster intensity with how pathetic it was.
And even funny was someone pointed this out in the that I only read this in the comments was how it looked like they basically got wiped out, but afterwards and stuff, it's like you see like a whole bunch of survivors. Like, wait, they survived?
Yeah,
But we're not shown how.
But yeah, but the Dothraki you did was you actually gave them a little bit more respect than what most would.
Yeah, I've like just to sort of generalize it, like when it comes to the Guardianverse, if there are badass characters in whatever franchise that I really like, but they don't live up to it, like best example, the Dothraki, I do my best to make them live up to it. I make them live up to the hype, to the point where they are like, I am the hype. To go TF Team 4-Star reference.
Yep.
And so, yeah, the Dothraki and the Guardianverse are badasses. Like, they're just they're they live in out. They're. I'm still debating on how I'm going to have the whole Game of Thrones timeline go in the Guardianverse, but basically, a lot of them, I'm still working it out, somehow get resurrected or reincarnated as humans in Outworld. Well, first off, does Outworld have humans that naturally live there, or
I'm
no?
going to answer that question. Does Outworld have natural humans? I will do the research. Humans. Outworld. Native sentient races. Outworld. There's something called the Outworlder. Is a humanoid species that physically resemble humans. Is their natural inclination towards magic as well as their longevity. They are said to live thousands of years and age considerably slower than humans. Humanoid races. Cryomancers also apparently live in.
So, yes and no, I guess.
Kind of.
Magic.
Well, I guess they are long-living badasses who know magic now.
Oh, apparently there's a race called the Saurians, and apparently in the Outworld.
Cool.
But yeah, regardless, yeah, that's like the whole thing. There are people who live in Outworld. They're called Outworlders, and they're just longer living humans and can use a bit more magic than normal humans can.
Yeah, so I guess those will be the humanoids that will end up having where the Dothraki will be reincarnated into. So you'll basically end up having a long-living reincarnated Khal Drogo, who's once a few Outworld tournaments and been a general badass to the point that even Shao Kahn is a little wary of him at times.
Well, then also, you are planning to also add some Warhammer races to Outworld, so he probably
Yeah. Yeah.
Dominus says, I think the Saurians, are reptiles races. Reptile
and
race.
they are. Yep, they are.
Yeah. I figured. You think with a name like Saurians, they look a little more dinosaurian-like, but
Dinosaur, you say?
Yes. I said dinosaur.
You mean like this dinosaur?
I hate you.
There it is!
Oh, God.
I'm not giving any context as to what
No
the
context.
hell...
No context. Do not give any context.
For those
No
who are
context.
popping into the stream of this podcast via video, will never get context. But those who are listening in or are doing, other things while listening to this podcast,
It's fine. This is how we make it exclusive. You see, if you buy the Discord pass, you can experience what's going on over here. You buy the Twitch pass.
Price of admission.
points of.
You can invite your family.
And bring in the kid. No, actually, no. Wait, don't.
Whoa! No!
No kids.
Do not finish that sentence. We literally just had a conversation about how much Wolf costed just a few moments ago.
Yeah, no.
Don't bring it back up.
I meant like theater wise. Like, going to see a theater. This is this stream is definitely not something for children to be
This is
listening.
not. This is
into.
not PG.
No.
This is not.
Yeah, this is 18 and up.
This is not
Actually,
rated. This is
I don't
not.
think this is even 18 and up.
This is not rated E for everyone.
No.
No.
Sure.
Hey, what a great way to wrap up this podcast with
Yeah. We're
Vin
reaching
Diesel
the
party.
yeah, we're reaching up the 4-minute mark, my friends. So, any last? So, chat. This is your chance for any last questions and any last comments.
Questions, comments, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're wrapping it up
Warning.
soon.
Going
Yes,
once.
we only have 9 more
And
minutes.
Dominus is typing.
Yep.
They're probably going very fast. Probably speed any percent speed run typing. Good night to everyone
Good
watching.
night
the
to everyone
stream.
watching.
I thought there was gonna be a question.
Yes, good night to everyone watching this.
Yep.
I hope you've had a good laugh.
Oh
All
yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anything worth laughing at?
Lots of things.
Yeah.
Possible.
Like, I hope we actually do continue this so that eventually we get just stream highlights from this.
Absolutely.
The various streams.
Now then,
All
with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for coming on in and listening to us ramble on and on about shit that no one's probably gonna understand, but it's still fun for all of you to come out here. We appreciate it. Any last comments before Pro decides to end the stream?
Indominus, can't wait to see more. This was fun. I agree. This was definitely fun. This was definitely
Indeed.
fun,
Yeah.
and I look forward. I hope we can do more of this. I really hope so. But we shall discuss that and whatnot. So thank you everyone for joining us. And if there's nothing else to say, then yep, this will be the end of the Podverse podcast pilot. So hope you all have a nice, wonderful night. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you all later on. Bye.